Ladies and gentlemen, life presents us with choices every single day. You can stay where you are, comfortable, familiar, unchanged, or you can improve yourself. Just a little bit more, not all at once, not in giant leaps, but by small, steady increments. That 1% improvement every day may look insignificant today. It may feel like nothing at all. But let me tell you, over time, that is the very difference between standing still and achieving greatness. You don't need to leap miles overnight. You don't need to transform your entire life in a single moment. All you need is the courage to improve by 1% more than you were yesterday. Here is the truth. Nobody wakes up at the top of the mountain. Nobody opens their eyes one morning and discovers they've reached greatness by accident. The peak is never stumbled upon. It is earned. It is built. Brick by brick, step by step, 1% at a time. It is the grind, the discipline, the quiet persistence when no one's watching. Every single day is a new opportunity to improve. Every challenge you face is not an obstacle. It is a sharpening stone. It is there to test you, refine you, and make you stronger. See, when most people think about success, they imagine fireworks. They imagine sudden breakthroughs, dramatic changes. One moment, that flips everything upside down. But let me tell you, that is not how success works. Real success is built on consistency, on improving 1% every day. Even when you don't feel like it, on putting in the work, especially when nobody's there to applaud you. It is not one big moment that changes your life. It is the hundreds. The thousands of small 1% improvements repeated again and again. The choices, the habits, the effort that compounds quietly, invisibly, until one day the results are undeniable. Greatness starts with a choice. If you've made yours, comment, "I choose 1% growth right now." Consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't shine. It doesn't boast. Sometimes it feels heavy, slow, even boring. But that is when it matters most. It is easy to give your all when you are motivated, when you are excited, when the vision is clear. But what happens when motivation fades, when the progress feels too slow, when the mountain looks too high? That right there, that is the dividing line. That is where greatness is born. The average stop. The extraordinary keep improving by 1%. Every day you show up and improve just a little, even when it feels like nothing is changing. You are planting seeds, seeds of success, seeds that will one day grow into something far beyond what you can see right now. Think of momentum. Each 1% improvement builds on the last small at first, maybe even invisible. But just like a snowball, rolling downhill, every day adds speed, adds weight, adds power. Before you know it, that tiny daily effort becomes unstoppable. That is what consistency does. Quietly, patiently, relentlessly, it builds strength, it builds character, it builds results. And here is the beauty. You don't have to move mountains in a single day. You just need to keep improving, day by day, 1% by 1%. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Let's break this down. Imagine a massive goal, something so big it feels overwhelming. From the bottom, the mountain looks impossible, but you don't climb a mountain by staring at the summit. You climb it by focusing on the next 1% and then the next, and then the one after that. Suddenly, the impossible becomes possible. The power of 1% improvements is this. They are sustainable. They don't burn you out. They don't demand everything all at once. They are manageable, repeatable, and because of that, they last, and when they become habits, when those habits become who you are, success becomes inevitable. Understand this, even slow progress is still progress. Even when the results aren't visible, the roots are growing. The foundation is strengthening. You may not see it yet, but trust the process, because the process is always working in your favor. And it all comes back to choices. From the moment you wake up, your life is shaped by decisions. Some are big, most are small, but each one moves you closer to who you want to be or further away. And it all comes back to choices. From the moment you wake up, your life is shaped by decisions. Think about it, the choice to wake up early and improve your routine by 1%, or to hit snooze and drift back into sleep. In the moment, it feels small, but it sets the tone for everything that follows. The choice to read for one more page, to exercise a little longer when you are tired, to learn a little more instead of scrolling recklessly. All of these add up day after day, year after year. They shape your future. Your life is not built in one grand decision. It is built in the small, seemingly insignificant 1% choices you make every day. Don't underestimate the power of small improvements. Don't overlook the strength of consistency. Success is not a sprint. It is not a single leap. It is the daily commitment to improve by 1%. No matter how small the step, no matter how quiet the progress, keep going when it is hard. Keep going when it feels slow. Keep going when no one's watching, because every 1% is momentum. Every habit is a brick in the foundation, and every choice is writing the story of who you are becoming. And one day when you look back, you became the kind of person who improves 1% every day. Every single day you are faced with choices. Choices that seem small, ordinary, forgettable. The decision to invest time in learning something new by 1%, or to scroll mindlessly through your phone. The decision to push yourself a little further, or to take the easy way out. These are not just passing moments. They are reflections of your priorities. They reveal how much you truly value growth. On their own, they may look inconsequential. What is 5 minutes here or 10 minutes there? What is skipping one session of improvement, one study moment, one opportunity to grow? It doesn't feel like much in the moment, but repeated day after day, these choices turn into habits. And habits form the very foundation of your life. You are the sum of your decisions. If you consistently choose comfort, avoidance, or the easier path, then over time those choices will shape you. They will limit your potential. They will chain you to mediocrity. But if you choose deliberately, if you push yourself even in the smallest of ways to embrace challenge, to seek 1% growth, to lean into discomfort, then slowly but surely you will reshape your character. You will rewire your mindset, and you will alter the course of your future. The beauty of daily choices is this: you are in control no matter where you are, no matter what you've been through, no matter what challenges weigh on you today. Each sunrise hands you a new chance to decide, will you live as the person you've been or improve 1% closer to the person you want to become? And no, it doesn't mean you must overhaul your entire life in a single day. It means making the conscious decision to be just 1% better today than you were yesterday. To cast one more vote for discipline, to cast one more vote for growth. Because every choice is a vote. Ask yourself, are you voting for discipline or procrastination, for growth or stagnation, for health or neglect? Every decision tips the scale. And over time, the weight of those votes defines your path. Now, let's talk about success. Too often, success is romanticized. We picture it happening in an instant, a sudden breakthrough, a stroke of luck, a moment that changes everything. But the truth is far less glamorous. Real success is slow, it is deliberate, it requires patience, perseverance, and the willingness to improve 1% day after day. Even when results are nowhere in sight, success is not a destination you stumble upon. It is a journey you must commit to, and that journey is long. The road winds, it climbs, and sometimes it feels impossible to navigate. And here is why so many struggle. We live in a world addicted to instant gratification. We want fast food, fast money, fast results. We're conditioned to expect immediate rewards, but lasting success doesn't play by those rules. True achievement is built 1% by 1%, effort by effort, failure by failure, lesson by lesson. It is not one big triumph. It is the accumulation of countless small improvements that nobody sees. And one of the greatest reasons success takes time is because success is growth. Growth by its nature is gradual. You don't wake up an expert. You don't master a skill in a day. You learn, you fail, you adapt, you refine. Each setback becomes a stepping stone. Each obstacle strengthens your resolve, and every 1% forward brings you closer to your goal. This process cannot be rushed. It requires patience. It requires trust in the process. And most importantly, it requires faith in yourself. Even on the days you feel stuck, even when you doubt whether the effort is worth it. But there is something deeper happening here. Pursuing success over time doesn't just give you external achievements. It transforms who you are inside. You don't just earn the reward. You become the kind of person capable of earning it along the way. You develop resilience, discipline, strength, the ability to stand tall when the storms come. And believe me, they will come. And here's another truth. If you build too quickly, if you chase shortcuts, if you rush without laying the groundwork, what you build will crumble at the first sign of pressure. That is why success takes time, because strong foundations require patience. Whether it is your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, Anything worth building must be built to last. And when you finally achieve it, when you reach the summit after years of 1% efforts, the victory is sweeter because of the struggle. You will not only appreciate the result, but the journey. You will value the obstacles you overcame, the lessons you learned, and the person you became in the process. That is what makes success meaningful. Because challenges are not detours. They are the path, struggles, setbacks, doubts. They are not signs to quit. They are tests designed to shape you. They carve resilience into your spirit. They reveal strength you didn't know you had. So, don't run from challenges. Don't avoid discomfort. Don't shy away from the long road. Embrace it, because it is in those moments of difficulty and those long nights and those silent battles that no one else sees. That is where greatness is forged. Your future is not built in one grand moment. It is built in the small daily improvements you make. It is built in your consistency. It is built in your willingness to keep improving when it is hard. So remember this: every decision is a vote. Every habit is a brick. Every day is a chance. Build wisely, choose deliberately, stay consistent, and one day you'll look back, not just at the success you achieved, but at the stronger, wiser, unshakable person you became along the way. Challenges. They are the moments that force you out of your comfort zone. When life is easy, you can slip into routines, habits that keep you safe but stagnant. Comfort may feel good, but comfort rarely brings growth. It lulls you into mediocrity. It convinces you that good enough is acceptable. But when you are confronted with a challenge, when life places an obstacle in your path, that is when the real test begins. The challenge demands that you dig deeper, that you search for answers, that you find solutions you didn't know existed. It pushes you to tap into strengths you never realized you had. And it is here in the fire of difficulty, in the weight of resistance, that true growth begins. Not in ease, not in comfort, but in the stretching, in the straining, in being pushed beyond what you once thought was possible. Every challenge you face brings lessons that success alone can never teach. Failure teaches you humility. Struggle teaches you resilience. Stumbles teach you awareness. Each challenge is an opportunity, not a punishment, to learn something new about yourself and the world around you. And hear me clearly, it is not the challenge that defines you. It is your response. Do you retreat, or do you rise? Do you allow it to defeat you? Or do you use it as fuel to improve 1% more? Because every challenge gives you a choice: quit or grow. Another reason challenges are so powerful is this: they build resilience. And resilience is the backbone of long-term success. Life will never be smooth. It will rise and fall, twist and turn. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and failures. But resilience, the ability to get back up when you've been knocked down, that is what separates those who give up from those who break through. Every time you overcome a challenge, you prove to yourself that you can. You reinforce your belief that adversity will not stop you. That mental toughness becomes part of who you are. And with it, future obstacles no longer look like walls, they look like hurdles. They no longer fill you with fear, they awaken your confidence. Challenges also build persistence. Success is never a straight line. It is messy, it is broken, it is full of setbacks. The people who win are not the ones who had a perfect path. They are the ones who refused to quit when the path got hard. When you embrace challenges, you are training your spirit to persist, to keep going. Even when every part of you wants to stop, you learn that setbacks are not the end of the road. They are part of the road. And in the process, challenges reveal something extraordinary: your true potential. It is easy to underestimate yourself when you've never been tested. But when you are pushed to your limits, when you are forced to confront difficulty head-on, you discover that you are stronger, smarter, more resourceful than you ever imagined. Challenges unlock doors inside you that comfort will never touch. And this leads us to one of the most important truths of achievement: the grind. Commitment to the grind is the mindset that separates dreamers from doers. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants results. But very few are willing to endure the slow, relentless, often thankless process required to earn them. The grind is the daily work, the discipline, the hours of effort that go unseen. It is showing up when you are tired. It is putting in the work when you don't feel like it. It is doing what has to be done, even when it feels like nothing is changing. The grind is not glamorous. It will not get applause. It will not make headlines. But behind every breakthrough, every achievement, every victory. You will always find it. Long stretches of grinding, silent work, sacrifices that no one talks about, persistence when most would have quit. The grind is the foundation of all success. Without it, the results you seek will never come. What makes committing to the grind so powerful is that it filters out the pretenders. Anyone can want success, anyone can dream big, but only a few are willing to pay the price. The grind demands sacrifice, it demands discipline. Improvement does not happen in ease, it happens in discomfort. Growth requires that you step into the unknown, that you fail, that you fall, and that you rise again. The grind trains you to do exactly that. And here is the truth about motivation. It will not always be there. But discipline, that is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. And discipline is born in the grind. Every day you show up, you are building something inside yourself. Strength, resilience, confidence, even if results are slow, even if progress feels invisible. Each repetition is like a drop of water wearing away stone. Each action compounds. It may feel insignificant now, but over time it builds a momentum that becomes unstoppable. And this is why the grind is not just about the present. It is about vision. It is about understanding that success takes time, that breakthroughs are built on thousands of small 1% efforts, that the process matters just as much as the outcome. So embrace the grind, embrace the challenges, don't run from them, don't avoid them. They are not obstacles blocking your path, they are the path. They are the furnace that forges greatness. Remember this. Challenges shape you, and the grind builds you together. They prepare you for the life you dream of. Stay committed, stay consistent, keep pushing, because one day you will look back and realize that every challenge you faced and every day you spent grinding, that was not wasted time. That was the very process that made you unstoppable. Each day you commit to the work, you are planting seeds, seeds that may be invisible today, but they are alive. They are growing. The key is to keep watering those seeds, even when nothing seems to sprout, even when you can't yet see the results. That is what the grind is. The ultimate test of patience, of faith, of perseverance in the grind. You discover one of life's greatest truths. Consistency is everything. Success is not built in bursts of effort. It is not about occasional passion, sudden inspiration, or once in a while commitment. Success is built on the habit of showing up, on putting in the hours, on repeating the process, day after day, over and over again. Consistency compounds slowly, silently, invisibly at first, and then suddenly it becomes undeniable. And it is always the most consistent workers, because when you stay committed to the grind, you separate yourself from the ones who quit at the first sign of struggle. You become someone who works toward them relentlessly, day in and day out. But let me tell you this, committing to the grind is not just about external success. Someone who refuses to live for instant gratification and instead learns to love the process of 1% growth. And when you fall in love with the process, something shifts inside you. You stop chasing quick wins and you start appreciating the journey. You realize that the grind itself is where true transformation happens. Now, in a world that celebrates speed, shortcuts will tempt you. They always will. The promise of fast results, quick money, instant success, it is everywhere. And it is natural to want to get there faster, to skip the pain, to avoid the long road. But let me give you the truth. There are no shortcuts. Real success cannot be rushed. It cannot be cheated. It cannot be hacked. Success demands time. Success demands effort. Success demands your dedication to the process. And shortcuts. Shortcuts are illusions. They may save you time in the moment, but they cost you in the long run. They cut corners where it matters most. They leave gaps in your knowledge, cracks in your foundation, and weaknesses in your skill. Shortcuts might get you to the destination quicker, but when you arrive, you won't be prepared to stay there because success isn't just about reaching the top. It is about being strong enough to remain there when the storms come. And shortcuts never give you that strength. Every step of the journey matters. Every challenge has meaning. Every moment of struggle is there to teach you something. When you take shortcuts, you rob yourself of those lessons. You rob yourself of the very growth you need to sustain success. Success built on shortcuts is fragile. It looks strong from the outside, but it collapses under pressure. It is not built to last, but when you take the long road, when you refuse to skip the grind, you build a foundation that nothing can shake. The long road teaches you patience. It teaches you persistence. It shows you the power of incremental 1% progress. Every step, no matter how small, is an investment. Every repetition is a deposit into your future. And over time, those investments compound into something unstoppable. There is a reason why the most successful people in any field are the ones. They mastered their craft through repetition. They learned from failure. They refined their skills with every setback. They trusted the process when the results were invisible. And because of that, they built success that lasts. And there is something else shortcuts can never give you. Pride. The deep, unshakable pride of knowing you earned it. The satisfaction of looking back and saying, I built this. I fought for this. I endured for this. That is the kind of victory no shortcut can ever deliver. Because when you achieve something through shortcuts, it feels hollow. But when you achieve it through sweat, sacrifice, and struggle, it becomes more than just a result. It becomes a story, a testament to your resilience. Proof of your discipline, evidence of your relentless dedication. So remember this, every day you commit to the grind, you are planting seeds. Don't be tempted to dig them up too soon. Don't be fooled by shortcuts that promise quick results. Trust the process, water the seeds. Stay consistent because one day those seeds will break through the soil. One day the grind will show its reward. And when it does, you'll realize the wait, the struggle, the long road, it was all worth it. And the victory will not just be what you achieved, the victory will be who you became in the process, in the pursuit of long-term success. The process is just as important, if not more important, than the outcome. Because here is the truth. The discipline you develop, the skills you sharpen, the lessons you gather along the way. Those are what sustain you, those are what carry you through. The trophy, the title, they may fade, but who you become in the process that endures forever. There is no substitute for the growth that happens when you commit fully to the journey. Shortcuts may look appealing. They may whisper promises of speed and ease. But shortcuts rob you. They rob you of growth. They rob you of the wisdom you could have gained, the strength you could have built, the character you could have forged if you had embraced the challenges, learned the lessons, and done the work. The most fulfilling successes are never the ones that came quickly. They are the ones earned step by step through dedication, effort, and resilience. That is why there are no shortcuts to true greatness. The path is long, but it is only by walking it fully that you gain the wisdom, the strength, and the experience not only to achieve your goals, but to surpass them. And when your eyes look beyond success, toward impact, toward meaning, that is when you begin building something far greater, a legacy. Building a legacy means creating something that outlives you, something that reflects your values, your passion, and your contribution to the world. It is not just about personal success. It is about leaving a mark, one that inspires, uplifts, and endures. But a legacy does not happen by accident. It requires vision, it requires commitment, it requires purpose that goes far beyond short-term rewards. To build a legacy, you must first define what matters most. What do you stand for? What do you care about deeply? What do you want to be remembered for? Your legacy begins the moment you answer those questions with clarity. And once your vision is defined, it must be lived. Building a legacy is not passive. It is not theory. It is action. It is consistent dedication. It is setting goals that align with your values and working tirelessly to achieve them. Every decision, every step, every action becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your legacy. And remember this, a true legacy is never just about you. It is about people. It is about the lives you touch, the knowledge you share, the hope you give. Your impact expands when you mentor, when you inspire, when you dedicate yourself to something larger than your own gain, when you uplift others. Your legacy echoes far beyond your own achievements. But legacy also demands resilience. It will not be easy. The path will test you. It will push you. It will try to break you. And yet, that is the beauty of it. Because in those moments of struggle, when adversity strikes, when doubt whispers, when setbacks rise, that is where your true character is revealed. That is what will be remembered. Not just that you succeeded, but that you refused to give up when success seemed impossible. And a true legacy does not stop with you. It must be carried forward. It must have continuity. That means passing on your knowledge, creating systems that last, inspiring others to take up the mission. A legacy that cannot be carried forward is incomplete. But one that grows and evolves beyond you, that is eternal. This is why every action matters. Every decision matters. You are not just shaping your own life. You are shaping the lives that will follow. Legacy means thinking beyond the now. It means asking, will what I am building today still matter tomorrow? Will it still stand when I am gone? Because ultimately, legacy is about leaving a positive imprint on the world, creating something that adds value, building something that inspires others long after you are gone. It requires vision, dedication, and the willingness to endure for something greater than yourself. But legacy is not the only path to fulfillment. There is also the daily pursuit of growth, the mindset of improving 1% every day. This is not about perfection. Perfection is an illusion. This is about progress, about refinement, about continual self-improvement. Every single day gives you a chance to improve, to make one small adjustment, to grow just a little stronger, to think just a little deeper, to live just a little better. It is easy to become obsessed with the grand goals, the big achievements, the distant vision. But the real power is in the small daily actions, the habits, the disciplines, the choices. Because when you focus on improving 1% every day, those small gains compound. They stack, and over time they transform everything.